I mean, there's just something about Columbus, Ohio. Okay, the energy, the possibility, the way the city still lets you breathe while dreaming big. I moved here a few years ago, thinking it was just going to be a pit stop, maybe a few years here to save some money and figure things out. And now you couldn't drag me out of it if you tried. Look, the hidden food spots to the way that you can actually build wealth here while living a meaningful life, this place just hits different from day one. And today I'm going to break down all the reasons why I'm staying put and why Columbus might be your favorite spot too. Look, I know this might sound dramatic, but life in Columbus operates on a whole different frequency. And once it clicks for you, it's really game over. You're locked in, and it's not just about the cost of living or the job markets either. There's this energy in the air, this rhythm that feels like the city was designed for people who want to win without sacrificing their soul. And trust me, when I say Columbus does things differently, you're not ready for what it actually means. Look, when people think about cities that get it, Columbus somehow flies under the radar. But the city didn't just figure out how to be livable, it figured out how to be life-changing. And it did so without the ego or the price tag that comes with most places that are that good. Columbus is a city built for creators and innovators, but that doesn't mean you choose between your art and your rent money. You've got neighborhoods like the Short North, where artists are actually making it and not just surviving. Studios you can actually afford, galleries that showcase local talent, and a community that buys local art because they actually believe in supporting their neighbors. Look, this isn't Brooklyn where you need trust fund money to be creative. This is a city that actually lets your creativity thrive while still being able to afford the bills. And the business ecosystem, look, Columbus is quietly becoming the test kitchen for America's next big idea. And you know what? Let me put on my glasses so I sound smarter while talking to you. Check this, okay? Columbus has companies that choose us as their innovation labs because we've got the talent, the infrastructure, and the cost structure that lets you actually experiment. And this means that you're not just getting a job here, you're getting a front row seat to the future of America's business, but paying Midwest prices for it. Let's talk about that for a second. But let's also talk about the food scene that actually tells a story. Look, we're not trying to be the next Portland or Austin. We wouldn't want to be Austin anyways. We're trying to become the first Columbus. Places like the North Market, they're not just food halls, they're business incubators where local entrepreneurs test concepts that end up going national. You're literally eating the future of food trends, but the person cooking it is probably your neighbor and they remember your name. But let's talk about something that's even more wild. Our music and art scenes has this thing that I call the Columbus confidence. Bands don't leave to make it anymore because they can make it here. The Newport Music Hall, Express Live, smaller venues like Ace of Cubs, yeah, they're not just entertainment, they're proof that you don't have to choose between ambition and community. And that's what I mean when I say Columbus hits different. It's not trying to be the biggest or the loudest, it's trying to become the best version of itself, like you're trying to do. And when you live that every single day, it changes how you see the possibility for your own life. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, how do I even tap into all of this? That's where my team and I come in. If this is your first time here, my name is Gagan with a Living in Columbus channel, and we help people buy, sell, and relocate right here to Central Ohio. No one's showing you the Columbus that locals actually live, the opportunities that aren't advised, and the communities where real life happens. So if you're thinking about making a move, feel free to reach out. All of our contact information is in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. Now, one of the main reasons I'm never leaving Columbus is because the city grows on you that most places simply can't. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, Columbus has a lane that not only fits you, but actually helps you level up. Are you fresh out of college or switching careers? Columbus has this thing where entry level doesn't mean dead end. The startup scenes actually give you real responsibilities. Early, established companies invest in training, and the cost of living means you can actually save money while building your resume. Look, you can actually live in a cool neighborhood to go out with your friends and still put money in saving. Try doing that in San Francisco or New York. You can't. And I completely understand this. Obviously, I'm in my 20s. I love hanging out with my friends and going out every here and there. And for me, one of the biggest reasons that I love Columbus so much is that it gives an opportunity for that. But at the same time, the places that we're going out, they actually remember your name. Every single time that I'm in Reynoldsburg, they say hi, hello at all the Nepali restaurants that we go to. Every single time they're out maybe for a drink or maybe for a walk, you see similar people and you always get to build those relationships. And for me, especially with real estate being such a relationship heavy business, yeah, that matters to me a lot. Look, if you're moving into your building something phase, Columbus is actually where entrepreneurs come to actually succeed, not just try. The small business support here is actually insane. From city government to the community banks to the networks of people who've built businesses and actually want to help you grow. Plus, your overhead cost is so much lower that your runway is 3 times longer than it would have been anywhere else. Let's say you're trying to start a family as well. This is where Columbus becomes absolutely unbeatable. You're talking about neighborhoods like Dublin, Worthington, New Albany, and so many other places where schools are quite literally ranked nationally. And look, this isn't me saying this is from niche.com and other accredited sites. But even while these schools are so amazing, you can still find a home with yard and amazing communities. Your kids could actually walk to excellent schools, play in parks that aren't overcrowded, and grow up in a community that actually feels like a community. Now, I know what you're gonna ask. You're ready to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Columbus has this thing where retirement doesn't mean boring. Look, we've got the cultural amenities of major cities, outdoor spaces that actually get used, and a social scene where people in their 50s and 60s and beyond are still engaged and having fun. Plus, your money goes so much further that retirement actually feels like a reward that it's supposed to be. And that's what's rare about Columbus, Ohio. It doesn't just tolerate different stages of life, it actually optimizes for it. The city literally gets better as you do. But here's what really sealed the deal for me: the lifestyle payoff. Look, Columbus has this rare mix of opportunity and sanity that most major cities cannot pull off. You get the career growth without the soul-crushing commute. You get the cultural amenities without the cultural pretentiousness, and you get the economic mobility without sacrificing your quality of life. Let's take German Village, for instance. You're walking on brick streets that have been there since the 1800s, passing houses that tell stories about families who've built something lasting. But 5 minutes away, you're in the innovation district where someone's coding the next big app. History and future right next to each other, and both are accessible to you. Or let's take a look at the Scioto Mile downtown. You can grab coffee before work, walk along the river, check out public art, and maybe catch an outdoor concert, all without spending a dime or fighting crowds. Then after work, you're home in 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. That's time that you're gonna get back to actually live your life and hang out with your family. And the food scene tells the same story. You can get a $3 taco that changes your perspective on what food can be, then celebrate a promotion with a $200 dinner that competes with anything from Chicago or New York. Both experiences are genuine, both are excellent, and both are created by people who choose Columbus as a place to build their dreams. That's the lifestyle payoff I'm talking about. You don't have to choose between ambition and balance, success and community, opportunity and affordability. Columbus gives all of that to you, and it's mixed together in a way that makes every day feel bigger than you expected. Now, here's something that Columbus doesn't get enough credit for. You don't have to pick between urban energy and suburban peace. This might be the only city where you can literally have both, and it actually works seamlessly. Look, you can spend your Saturday morning at the farmer's market in the short north, grab lunch at a food truck downtown, catch a crew match in the afternoon, hit a gallery opening in the evening, then be home in your quiet neighborhood 15 minutes later. Yeah, no subway transfers, no hour-long traffic crawls, just city energy when you want it and suburban calm when you need it. Look, you want that downtown loft experience. You can live above a restaurant you actually want to eat at, walk to work, and have skyline views from your window. You want the family suburban dreams. You could have the 4-bedroom house with a big yard, great schools, and neighbors who actually know your kids' names. And here's the kicker: both options are within 20 minutes of each other, and both are actually affordable. Look, I've lived in places where you've had to choose. Deal with tiny, expensive apartments and constant noise, or move an hour away and give up your weekends for commuting. Columbus just said, nah, we're gonna blend all of that in together. Urban sophistication meets suburban practicality, and somehow it works better than either of them one alone. And that's Columbus in a nutshell. It doesn't make you sacrifice one thing good to get another thing good. It finds ways to give both of them to you at the same time and make it great. Look, now that I brought up the neighborhoods, I want to hear from you. What's your ideal living situation? Are you more of a downtown energy or a suburban family vibe? Drop it in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious where you see yourself, and don't be shy about getting specific if you've already got an area in mind. All right, let's shift gears and talk about the quality of life, because this is the part that really sneaks up on you once you're actually living here. Your day-to-day life here just feels easier, cleaner, and more intentional all at the same time. First, let's talk about something that no one actually mentions, the seasonal rhythms that actually make sense. I mean, okay, we've got winter, but it's the kind of winter that actually makes you appreciate spring. And then when spring hits Columbus, yeah, the whole city wakes up like it's been waiting all year for this moment. Look, we're talking about the German village with blooming trees. The Scioto Mile packed with people who've been hibernating, outdoor patios opening up like a city is throwing itself a party. Summers here are perfect festival weather, perfect patio weather, perfect let's do something outside weather. Fall is when you understand why people never leave Ohio. The leaves are insane. The football seasons make every single weekend feel like a celebration, and the weather, it's the perfect sweater temperature that makes you want to walk everywhere or shoot amazing looking videos. And look, here's what your money gets you in Columbus. In most cities, you're trading square footage for location or affordability for quality. Here in Columbus, you get a house with actual space in a neighborhood that you actually want to live in for a price that lets you save money and build wealth. Your mortgage payment leaves room for vacations, investments, experiences, all the things that money is supposed to enable. The job market is where Columbus gets really interesting. Look, we're not just stable, we're growing in smart ways. The tech companies are choosing us over Silicon Valley because the talent is here and the overhead, it just makes sense. Healthcare and research expanding because of Ohio State and the medical center created this innovation ecosystem. Financial services, logistics, all the industries that actually matter for long-term economic stability. But look, here's the secret. The opportunity here isn't just about finding a good job. It's about building something. The barrier to entry for starting a business, buying real estate, making investments, all of those things are so much lower here that you can actually take the risks that lead to real wealth building. More space, more money in your pocket, more time to actually enjoy your life, and more opportunities to build something lasting. That's what the quality of life payoff looks like in Columbus. And listen, at the end of the day, here's the honest truth. Columbus just feels like this place where life makes sense. And I don't mean that in some generic small town way. I mean that in the kind of sense when you wake up and realize you're living the life that you've always wanted. But it happened so naturally, you almost didn't notice. You know, a few nights ago, I was walking through Schiller's Park in German Village. There were these kids playing on a playground, couples walking their dog, someone playing guitar by the gazebo. The brick streets were glowing in the golden hour light, and I could see the downtown skyline in the distance. Look, I stopped for a minute and I thought to myself, wow, this is it. This is the life that I wanted so many years ago, and now I have it. But at the same time, this isn't just my story. There's so many people that are saying the exact same thing. Look, Columbus is one of those places that gives you everything you didn't even know you were looking for. Community that actually feels real, opportunities that feel sustainable, culture that feels authentic, spaces to grow both literally and figuratively, a future that you can actually see yourself in. And that's when people start saying, would you move anywhere else? Because the answer is no. What if you got some amazing opportunity in New York or LA, wherever? And the answer is pretty simple. Why would I leave the place where amazing opportunities come to me, where I can build wealth instead of just earning money, where community isn't something that you have to pay extra for? I'm not leaving. There it is. I don't care what anyone says about grass being greener somewhere else. Look, I'm not looking for greener grass. I'm too busy planting roots in the perfect soil. And listen, that's why I chose Columbus, and that's why I think you should be here too. Look, if Columbus is even on your radar, don't try to figure this out from a distance. My real estate team and I, we help people make that move every single week, and we'd love the opportunity to help you discover why Columbus might be the best decision that you never knew you wanted to make. Look, all of our contact information is in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. And if you're serious about learning what life in Columbus is really like, I've got the entire playlist that you can binge that goes deep on neighborhoods, opportunities, and everything else you need to know. I'm gonna put that video right here, watch it, and I'll see you soon. Peace.